Crazy hair, don't care. Crazy hair, don't care. I still don't know how to do intros for videos. If you sometimes struggle with a negative mindset, there are a few things that I can help out with because I'm very, very lucky. Now, I'm lucky in the sense that the way that my DNA is and the chemicals in my brains, I was talking to friends about it the other day, probably about a week ago. The way that my DNA is, the chemicals in my brain, I don't necessarily really get depressed and I don't get in really deep lows. Now, when I was a teenager, I used to get I used to be a lot more negative and I used to get a lot more upset. Now, in saying that, yeah, I get sad and there's times where I'm down, there's times where I don't feel like doing much, but I feel like that's just in general. But overall, I'm a pretty positive person and I'm very, very lucky because I've not only now used the advantage of my DNA, use the advantage of these chemicals in my brain that I'm lucky to have, but I've used that and then I've combined it with all of this stuff like I wouldn't just call it positive thinking because I hate that term. I hate all this fluffy rah-rah positive thinking crap. I've used these different sort of mental sort of strategies that I remind myself of daily to really be on top of my own emotions and to really not let the sad stuff get the better of me and to really be a glass half full kind of person. And I have a few things that might actually help you out if you are struggling right now, if you've been struggling for a while with a negative mindset, how to really fix that. But before we get into that, before I put this camera down because my arm's already killing me, before we do that, let's make some coffee. Yeah, I know this bench is a complete mess. I don't need reminding. But if you're making coffee, make sure you've got an actual coffee machine. You actually grind your coffee, right? Don't worry about I drink Japanese whiskey too. I really, really like some of this stuff. I can't focus on it, but maybe we'll do that for another video. But yeah, look, if you're looking to make your own coffee, make sure it's like actual beans. Look, this isn't gonna focus, the camera's not gonna focus on anything, but that's fine. So I just use oat milk. Make sure you use coffee beans. Don't come up to me with this blend 43 crap or whatever it's called, all this instant coffee that you just add boiling water. I don't wanna hear it. Tastes like dirt. I'm sorry, babe, it just tastes like dirt. Anyway, you don't have to watch this part of the video. I'm just going to be making some coffee, but let's just see how we go with this. You can tell this is just going to go really, really terrible because I don't have anywhere to set my camera. This is where I need a tripod. But anyway, I'm going to get a nice scoop of that. Look at that. Fresh gray. I mean, it's not going to focus. We just accept the fact now it's not going to focus. Coffee, because we need coffee. We need caffeine to run throughout the day. And do I have a caffeine addiction? Probably. Like I said, you know, if you're just here for the positive instructions, you go ahead and feel free to skip this. All right, we did it. We did it. I thought, not gonna lie, I thought the coffee machine broke. I was gonna be upset, but hey, we're good. Even if it was broken, positive thinking. Hey, we're gonna try to do this one-handed anyway. Oh, I've already spilled some. There we go. Not bad. Not bad. And of course, no sugar. So I really need to get a tripod, like a decent tripod for my camera, so I don't have to lean down like this all the time because I don't have anywhere to put my camera, but we're gonna do it leaning down like this because this is the best bet we have. But we got coffee. All right. So here's the first thing I want you to realize. First thing, one of the most important things is that it's more under your control than what you realize. Now, when I say that, what I mean is these emotions that you're feeling. I know that sometimes there's stuff that's out of your control, something might have happened to you that you weren't anticipating. Let's just say you're in a relationship, they break up with you have a disagreement, they cheat on you, something like that, whatever may happen. These are real life scenarios, okay? You can't control that. You can't control what happens to you in that relationship. You might have done some good, you might have done some bad in that relationship. No one is 100% perfect in that scenario anyway, but what you can control is the way you react to it. Now, of course, if you've spent a long time with this person, you're gonna be upset about it, but you can control the outcome of your emotions, how you feel about it. You can either sit there and prolong it, and you can just sit there and think, why don't they take me back? Or like, why don't this and that? Why doesn't this happen? Or this could have happened. Could I have done something different? It's all in the past. Stop worrying about it. And now I know that's easier said than done, but you can from this point in time, if you're feeling this emotion right now, you can almost, it's basically can be as powerful to the point of like a flick of the switch. Like you can control how you react to it. So from now on, you can literally decide yourself, okay, I'm done feeling this way. I'm done having this whole breakup situation, this negative impact, you know, that it's taking on my life. I'm done with it. I want to control how I feel. You start looking for outlets. You start looking for, okay, what's things that are going to make me happy? Now, it's not just as easy as thinking, all right, I'm going to be happy now. Sweet. There's other points in this video that are going to help with that, but you can control from this point out. You can decide yourself, how do I want to react to this situation? If something bad happened, whether it's in business, whether it is that breakup, whether it's a friendship, whether it's something, anything that you can think of, you actually have more control of the outcome of these emotions that you have than what you think. So that's the first part that I want to talk about. Is it's going to tie into a lot of these other points that I have, and you have a lot more control over these emotions, over these situations than what you think. So that's the main thing, have more control than what you think. And the second one is a big one, and this is one that I have had to learn about the hard way, and I've had to constantly learn about, I'm still learning about to this day, and it is look at who you hang around with. Look who you are spending the majority of your time with. Now, you might have a friend that you've known for years and years and years, and you might have someone that you've known for like 6 months. Now, this person that you've known 10, 15 years, they might not be the best person. They might be quite a negative person, but you want to keep the friendship there because you've been friends for so long. You don't want it to dwindle out. You know, you've had such a good friendship there, but what if they have a negative impact on your life? Now, what if this person that you've met a month, 2 months, 6 months ago, what if they're a super positive person? You just don't know them as well. You just don't have as many memories. You didn't grow up with them, but you get to a point in your life when you start growing up and you think, okay, I maybe need to start limiting this time with this person. I'm not saying to you, go and just destroy this friendship of yours that you've had for 10 to 15 years. No, you might just have to think about it and limit the time that you spend with that person, because if they're having a negative impact on your life, if they don't really want to do much with their lives, if they are always that glass half empty kind of person, and they're always thinking about what could go wrong with the world, and when something happens that's bad, they think, why is it always me? That kind of, you know, this kind of person that I'm talking about. So maybe don't get rid of the friendship, but just limit the time that you spend with them. And then this person that you met that's super positive, and they bring out these good emotions, and they're always looking for more, and they're always thinking, okay, I have control over this, you know, things are my fault, it's not outside of my control, all that kind of thing. Maybe you should spend more time with that kind of person, because ultimately it's going to make you better, ultimately it's going to make you happier. What would you call, like, manage this inner circle of people that you have around your life? It could not just be friends, it could also be family. So I'm not saying to get rid of those relationships, but maybe limit the time that you spend with those negative people, and then bring in more time with the positive people. Man, all this positivity, making me thirsty. I'm so sorry. Okay, next one. This is going to go throughout this whole video. Don't judge yourself too harshly. Now, if this is something you're just starting with, trying to fix your emotions, trying to bring out more positive emotions, and really trying to fix your mentality, don't be too harsh on yourself. Don't expect it to just happen automatically. And when I say that, it's okay to be sad. All of us get sad. There's things that trigger different emotions from different people. It's just a thing that happens with humans. We get sad, we get angry, we get happy, we get frustrated. That's just what happens. Now, you can help regulate those emotions, but don't be harsh on yourself. If you get upset over something and then you think, no, I shouldn't be upset about that, and then you get angry about it, and then you get sad on yourself because you've been sad, and don't be too harsh on yourself. Just remember that we're still human, but there are things that are in your control. But if you get sad, if you get angry, any kind of emotion that you don't necessarily want, just think that, okay, instead of getting upset about the fact that you're upset, think to yourself, why did I get upset? You know, is there a reason for that? Next time it happens, is there a way that I can navigate around it? Is there something that I can help to alleviate these emotions? That's what I do on myself. It's like, I've felt these emotions before. I know the reason why I'm feeling them. What is a way that I can navigate around that, or make it a little bit easier, just so the duration of these emotions don't last as long? And I know this is pretty much like maybe overthinking or critical thinking about it, but that's just the way I do it in my brain. It's the way I navigate around it. So main thing to note here is just don't be too harsh on yourself. You're still human. So everyone has these emotions. Just don't overjudge yourself with it. Okay, next big one, and this is one that I've realized the last couple of years, last 2 to 3 years, is you always need to have goals set. Now, us as humans, and I've sort of researched a little bit about this as well, and I've heard a lot of people like Jordan Peterson talking about it as well. Us as humans, like basically where we came from, our basic heritage, you know, all the way back from when we were formed as a species, our whole livelihood is geared towards being goal setters. Our whole livelihood is being geared towards aiming for something. Now, if you've realized, if you've done anything in your life that you've set your sights towards and you've achieved, usually that brings a positive emotion out. And the reason for that is because we're so geared towards this, we always need to be looking towards something. It's in everyone's DNA. It's basically, you need to be looking towards a goal. You need to be aiming towards something. And if you can see us as a species, yeah, a lot of people might think, oh, we're going backwards, this and that. I would say the opposite. We're not going backwards, we're continually moving forward. You can see that in the way that we think more critically of everything. You can see that in our infrastructure. I'm looking at the buildings and everything out here. You wouldn't see this in the 1800s. Like, we always want to keep moving forward. It's just amazing to me how people can think so negatively on the on humans, you know, as an entire species, where I think the opposite. It's like, yeah, there's people that you're not going to like, but we're always continuing to move forward. So anyway, the point that I have with this is that you always need to have your goals set. You always need to have something that you're aiming towards. Otherwise, you're just going to be moving around like directionless, and you have no idea where you're going. And then that's when you start to question, is it even worth it? Should I do something else? If you have a goal set, it's like, okay, you're working towards something, whether it's a small goal or a big goal. I like to have a mix of the two. Even if you don't hit the goal, you're still moving towards it. You're still moving forward. If you have a goal set, majority of the time you're not going to move backwards. It's not like you basically have a goal set that you're going to become a crack addict in the next 30 days. A lot of people don't do that. That's just not what we do. Terrible example, I know, but still, that's just the way I think about it. So we'll always, if you have a goal set, you're going to be moving forward anyway. Just make sure you have something set there that you want to do. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for you to move forward if you don't have your sights set on something in front of you. Okay, this is my very last one for you guys. Make sure to fill your ears with positivity. Now, I'm very lucky myself that I have a couple of positive parents. So I've got, you know, my dad who runs his own business. This is sort of like in my DNA of running businesses anyway. Runs his own business. I have a mum who's very, very, very caring, loving, positive. Very, very lucky for that. And that they're some of the people that I like to hang around and just bring my positive emotions out. Now, I've always thought, okay, a lot of the time when it comes to this friends, when it comes to these, you know, all these friends that I have and whatnot, there's been times where I think, I don't know how many positive people I have in my life. It seems like a lot of these people have problems that they can solve themselves, but they don't want to, blah, blah, blah. And then you get into that negative tunnel of emotions where you're like, okay, should I be hanging out with these people? Then I won't have anyone to hang out with, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm talking about. So I thought to myself, okay, what can I do if I don't have, you know, if it's not my parents, don't have that many people around me who are too positive, what can I do to fix that? And I thought, why don't I fill my own ears with positivity and bring out my own emotions, be my own like little sort of ball of positivity, it's a little ball of light. So I don't, you know, I don't have to rely on these other people to be positive. So I ended up doing stuff like started watching Gary Vee, I started listening to the podcast, I started watching like Jordan Peterson, where they have very, very positive outlooks on the world and on humans, you know, as a whole species. So I fill my own ears with positivity. And if you struggle with having people around you that aren't very positive, and you're struggling to find those positive emotions, then make sure to fill your ears with positivity. And what I mean by that is watch videos. You could do podcasts, you could join more groups. You know, another thing that I'm looking to do this year is join more sort of sporting groups, maybe get back into tennis, because I played a lot of tennis as a kid. Just find people that, you know, and if you have a positive energy around you, that's going to draw more people to you anyway. I've found that because I have more of a positive energy. Again, I'm very lucky for that, because it's basically in my DNA to have more of a positive energy. More people are drawn to you, and yes, you're going to get those few negative people that come in, but you limit your time with them. Bring in more positive people, like I was saying before, and that all comes from filling your own ears with positivity and really being your own source of positivity. So that's all I'm going to get out of this. I know it sounds a lot like dreamland, la la la, always be positive, this kind of thing. It's not like that. It's actually a very practical way of thinking, because if you think more positive, you're gonna get more done, you'll be more successful, you're going to let less negativity and less negative emotions in, and you're going to be like this steamroller. It's like, I aim to be like this positivity sort of steamroller. It's like, okay, I'm steamrolling through, and then something bad happens. It's like, all right, that happened, cool. Move forward, move forward. Something else happens. All right, cool. Move forward, move forward. It's like, I don't just let one thing just roadblock me and I'm stuck there for the next 6 months to a year just thinking, how is my life so bad? And why does this always happen to me? And it's like, it happens to everyone. You gotta realize that. No one's life is perfect. It may look like that on the outside, but it's not, trust me. I'm gonna leave it there, guys, but I hope this video helped you out, and I hope that this helped you on your way to becoming a more positive, more glass half full kind of guy or gal. Apart from that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you like videos like this, let me know, because I really enjoy doing them. It's a nice change of pace. So I hope you guys are doing well, and see you guys in the next one.